Talk morning show with myself, Andre Hill, and my co-host, Natasha Oliver. How are you this morning?
I am great. Great morning, everyone. How you doing this morning, Andre?
I'm alive. I'm 6 feet above.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, 6 feet above. You know, it's been one of those weeks. A lot of rain. You know,
Yes.
When is the rainy season going to end?
Rainy season ends, when is that? The end of this month or September? I don't remember.
Yeah, man, we need to dry out. So we have some interesting things going on today. Of course, Latasha was complaining about my late post last night, and I always, I'm listening to our ancestors. I get into a quiet mode, and I just, listen, and I ask them, what do you need to tell your children? And so they start communicating. I listen, and I write my notes down. But this morning, one of the things I posted on Facebook was that we're going to take it to another level concerning the parasite. The parasite is planning some economic moves, and you need to know about it. So, and also, let's cover all the topics. And then also a new name for black people. We've been called colored folks, Negroes, African Americans, black people, and we have been divided up all over the planet as Nigerians, Jamaicans, Bahamians, Trinidad, but the parasite instructed is, what do you call them? Puppets. They work under one brand, and, they, in order for them to acquire economic domination and superiority over the entire planet, they operate under one agenda. So all of these different agendas that black folks are working with, is somewhat divided. Even on the local level, you have the Kappas, the Qs, the different sororities.
Right.
And, we're not working on one accord. So we're going to talk about the new name for black people. So stay in tune.
Okay, so who came up with the name before I know you're going to give it to us, but where did the name come from?
It was a combination. I was listening to a Claude Anderson video, and he was talking about black people are special, and we have a special situation. And, so I started, I listened to that, and I said, okay, so we need a name that's going to bring us all together. Because the division is prevalent, and it has caused us so much despair and disharmony. And so the unity of the name has to be special and direct, because when you are charged, to whom much is given, much is expected. When you are charged with the resurrection of an entire species and a planet, it has to be powerful. It has to be empowered and somewhat focused on its mission. And at this point, the Guardians are hoping that after this ass whooping we've been receiving for the last several thousand years, we should have gotten rid of our selfishness. And so that's why I also mentioned the overclass and why, they don't want things to change. They like things the way they are because they have special privileges, because of compromising their souls. So we're going to talk about, if we have time, we're going to hit on the overclass and who they are and why they do the things that we do. And so also we have a special guest, and you want to tell us about the special guest?
Yeah, so we're bringing on a special guest today. Her name is Angel Richards. I've known Angel for a couple of years. She's a life coach just like myself. And so we're bringing her on. We want to talk to our sisters today, and well, not just our sisters. We want to talk to our community today about living clutter-free. Angel had started a movement years ago called Clutter-Free Society, and it's a movement of teaching women how to live clutter-free and to get rid of their baggage and to live the life that they're meant to live on purpose, which is something that I coach on as well, but we have two different styles of coaching. So it's interesting. I know some of my followers are saying, you bringing another life coach on and you're a life coach. Yes, I am.
We need all the help we can get.
Exactly. And one thing that a lot of people don't know or understand, like we talked about mentorship before, all mentors need a mentor, all life coaches need a life coach, and it just keeps going and going. And being women, we need to support each other, and we need to look at things in different angles. It's not just, okay, we'll do it this way or you do it that way, So we're definitely going to bring Angel on and talk about this clutter-free society and how to help people to live a clutter-free life.
So, I'm an advocate of definitely focusing on our women. Black women, we need some focus on our black women because, number one, their DNA is the original DNA of the planet. They are the mothers of all the other cultures that exist on this planet. Number two, when the parasite got here, it knew that it had to focus on that black woman and destroy and disorient her by any means necessary because with that black woman being taken out of its natural order, where it's not nurturing and the first teacher of all of us, that's critical. And so if she's got to wake up in the morning and be all stressed out, wondering how she's going to survive, pay the bills, where is the man? Why isn't he standing up? Why isn't he willing to die or do the things necessary to provide for the family? It takes her out of a natural order and she starts to mutate. And so in the resurrection of this planet, all the cultures, I don't care whether you're Caucasian, Hispanic, Asian, the black woman is your mother, the original woman. And if you want this planet to survive, because there's some things that we're going to talk about, I'm going to refer you to a couple of documentaries that's going to blow your mind, and some of you are going to need some therapy after you watch it.
Oh, wow.
But if you want this planet to be resurrected, where it's in balance, it ain't about skin color, it's about balance. And you got to get that black woman, because she's been jacked up, messed up, told that she was not beautiful, that she had to emulate or assimilate to everything but what the original human being, the original mother and the foundation of this planet. We need to fix her. We need to let up off her because it's been devastating.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll definitely get more into that when we bring Angel in after the first break. But yes, to our black women and women in general, we have gone through different things in our lifetimes. I know Angel and I actually have a similar story, but both of us are actually on that mission to get our women into a better place, state of mind. We talked about mindset, all these different types of things. So really excited about that today, especially for all of our women listening. Any of our women that are listening that may have similar stories to Angels or to myself or anything, we are here to make sure that you know that there is an answer. There's an answer for everything that you've ever actually gone through in your life. There's a purpose for it as well. So a lot of people don't understand that some of the challenges that we go through is actually meant to push us to our purpose.
There we go. All right. So also want to let you know we have two sponsors, and sponsors are very important because we can't keep the show going without sponsors. I have to mention them. And one of them is the Best Deal Pharmacy. I talked about him, and Latasha's going to get Michael on the show at some point because this guy, he's from, I told you who he was from, Cameroon, and this brother is a genius. He's an alchemist. He understands the various different compounds of the chemicals. Now, I believe that ultimately he's going to go and be a naturalist, alchemist. But right now he's using the pharmaceutical chemicals and he's tweaking them to deal specifically with your personal disease or dis-ease, and so you want to give Michael a call if you're out of balance, if your drugs are not, you're feeling irritated by your drugs. Michael can get with your doctor, discuss the situation that's going on, and come up with an alternative, or he can tweak or add, increase the substance that are going into your drugs to make sure it maintains some sort of balance with your body. So he's located at 5352 North Havana Avenue, and the telephone number is 813-644-6845. So give him a call, go over, and talk to him and tell him about your situation and tell him you're having bad reactions with the drugs, and he's going to come up with some alternative and to get you feeling better. And so give him a call. Also, our Al Soul Food, located at 2302 East 7th Avenue. This is a soul food restaurant. It's a beautiful place. I mean, it's immaculate, and the food is good. And this is a beautiful black woman that runs this restaurant, and you need to support her. She's got her children in there, and she's going to be bringing more people in, and we want to get those hours extended, so anytime you're hungry, you can go get some food. I've been talking to her about that. So make sure you go to Al Soul Food. That's at the east end of Ybor City, one block past 22nd Street on Ybor City on the left, right across from Broadway Bar. So get out to Al Soul Food and, support these businesses that's hiring black people to get them off the street, get them out of prison, get them back into the mix of things, because once again, not only is the black woman at risk, but the black race is at risk, and we've suffered enough. We've been the considerate group. We've helped every group on the planet. We've shown love, and now we've been basically tap danced in our face, and it's time to make that change. So make sure you support these black businesses, invest in them, support them, because the natural order has to be restored.
All right, I have another announcement. So next Saturday, I will not be on the show, so we're going to have Andre and Andre. Talking to Andre Sr., Andre Jr. are going to be on the show. So next Saturday, I do have my event for those of you that have been following The Secret to Living and Creating Your Best Life. It's a vision board workshop next Saturday, and it's all about spirituality, mentality, and law of attraction, and how to create the life that you actually want, and how to take away those limiting beliefs that you may have that are keeping you from having the life that you want. So more on that at the workshop. But the workshop is next Saturday, and it's going to be at Tampa Park Plaza starting at 9 a.m. Now, registration does close this weekend. Actually, it closes on Monday, so make sure that you get your ticket. You can give me a call, 813-297-6245, or you can go to the Eventbrite page, which is Live Your Best Life Vision Board.eventbrite.com. Again, that's Live Your Best Life Vision Board at eventbrite.com.
Okay, so yeah, that's going to be, also if you're listening and you want to call in, ask Latasha some questions or Angel some questions, call in this morning at 813-444-9588. Get your pencil and paper out. I'm going to give you that alchemist, that pharmacist guy again. I'm going to call it out. So get your pencil and paper out so you won't miss it. At the end of the show, we're gonna go into that once again. And so we're going to cover these issues. Taking it to another level on the parasite, because the parasite is I have said this over and over again, and I'm not trying to brainwash people, but the wizard has been exposed. And so now the wizard is desperate. And so in order to maintain power and control over this planet through ignorance, is starting to maneuver the banking system on a worldwide basis. Now, a long time ago, we heard about George Bush with the New World Order and the $1 and all of that. So now the banking system knows that there are a lot of renegade people that are coming up with bitcoins and their own economic system. So now they're taking a defensive posture to circumvent that, because they don't want to lose power. They don't want to lose their mansions, their jets, and their Rolls Royces and all that. And their special privilege, because they know that it's going to be painful. They think that the people are going to retaliate. But I'm saying this to those overclass people, to the puppets of the parasite. No, we're telling our people, no, we don't want to. We're not going to retaliate against you, because there's an old saying. An old Negro woman, and that was an old Negro saying. She said, Oh no, you don't have well, the first one is vengeance is mine, said the Lord. And this woman, I'll never forget it. She said, when God repay you, you have been well paid. So you don't need to do anything to these folks, to these puppets or the parasites, to these overclass that want to continue this madness on the planet, because karma is guaranteed to check them. Oh, yeah, to come back with this, we're going to go to break, and we're going to go into detail about the parasite and detail about the overclass and a few other things.
All right, when we come back for break, we will bring an Angel on.
I'm Donald L. Dowridge Jr., your motivational guru. This is the DLD Motivational Moment. You got up this morning. Eyes sneaking open as the feet hit the floor. Got to thank God for the rise this day. The stove perking the smell of nutrition. Get to your destination with planned unselfish acts. Bulletin board read, do you have any to spare? Happiness and understanding. We all have experienced that one phone call, family member, co-worker, friend has passed on. We don't know our last evening or morning. Get up. Help someone out. Now walk it out. You got up this morning. This has been the DLD Motivational Moment. You can reach out to DLD at DLD282002@yahoo.com or 813-394-5875.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Okay, so I'm gonna wind down. We have Angel in the studio now, and we're gonna get to her. I'm gonna wind down on what I promised. All right. So the moves from that parasite. Number one, the banking system, and also they are working. A lot of the property owners. Now, black folks need to understand this. A lot of property owners, even in Tampa, they're getting together and they're not gonna take vouchers anymore. So they're going to start breaking up and making sure that you have to move further and further out of the inner city or even in the perimeter of the city. A lot of these property owners and real estate owners they're not selling to black folks and they're not going to rent to you. So we're in that position where we need to really reclaim our planet. Now, here's the big one. Because we got some other issues coming on here. That name, okay? Now, like I said, I listened to Claude Anderson, and he was trying to explain to people in his Powernomics books on how we have to come together to create economies within our cultural communities. Because all the other cultures, they're going to continue with their agenda because black folks just haven't showed up. So their attitude is, well, we got to survive. So our agenda is about survival. So if you black folks don't want to get your act together, that's on you. So here is the name that will unify us all over the planet, so that we can start not an agenda of black supremacy like the white supremacy agenda. This is an agenda of resurrecting our planet, and the name is Black Aboriginals. Yeah. That's the name.
He said, yeah.
Yeah. So why Black Aboriginals? And it might be, so all you scholars, you might call in and say, well, that's synonymous. That's the same thing because Black is the original, and then original is, and so is it. But it's a statement, So if Black people were the first humans, they are the originals, which are referred to as Aboriginals. Not Native American, not African Americans. We are all over the planet, whether we Jamaicans, Latino, we in different colors. We're all over the planet. So we are the original people. And that's the only way that the planet is going to be unified. Now, if you got some comments or if you want to dispute that, call in at 813-444-9588. If you're a scholar and you're going like, well, Andre, I think wigged out, call in and tell me. I'm ready for it. So once we accept that, it's going to empower you because number one, you were telling the ancestors, okay, we confirm that we are the originals. We confirm that our DNA is the original DNA based on the chemistry, based on the distance of our planet from our sun. All of that goes into the development of our species. The artificial system that we have created, that we're headed into now, is disruptive and destructive, and it's based on lies and deception. So we got to back up off of that artificial system because it will cause destruction. And for those that still read those Bibles, Sodom and Gomorrah, I keep saying it over and over, and I'm not trying to brainwash it, but it's the reality. Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah was real because we got out of hand and we lost our way. Okay.
All right. We ready?
All right.
Women taking over now. All right, so I want to introduce, we've been talking about Angel for a little bit. I want to introduce Angel Richards. She is a mother of 4. She is a life coach. She's an educator and an entrepreneur. She is the CEO of Helping Others Transform, which is a lifestyle empowerment company dedicated to helping women declutter their lives. And she has the clutter-free movement that she has and clutter-free society. I've known Angel for several years. She actually, when she was in education, she was, and before she retired, she was at Oak Grove Elementary, which is the school my mom was the principal at. So that's actually how I met her myself. And knowing that she was a life coach, and before I ever became a life coach, I was actually following Angel myself and went through one of her programs myself. So I highly recommend her, even though I'm a life coach myself. So we support, we have to support each other in different things. So welcome, Angel, to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about what the Clutter-Free Society is and what you're doing and how you've changed so many women's lives.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Clutter-Free Society came about a few years back because I personally didn't have my own inner circle of women that I felt like I could connect with,
right,
and my authentic self could connect with. My facade and, who I was pretending to be, I had tons of friends. Everybody accepted me, family, everything. But when I started really walking in my authenticity, I realized that circle got smaller and smaller. So I wanted to create a space where not just I could be surrounded by like-minded women, but I can bring other women who were where I was, didn't have that support system, didn't have people, cheering them on to be their best self, live their best life. So I created it, and just, it started with one person, and it just kept building and building. And it's interesting because for me, Clutter-Free Society was just kind of like a membership. Like we're just going to build this community of women. But God revealed to me probably a year ago, it's a clutter-free society. This is bigger than my membership. This is bigger than my program. This is about helping women, every woman, that has children. Their children could be clutter-free. Yeah. If they're married, their husband could become clutter-free and make his homeboys clutter-free. Like, this is something that can transcend and create truly a clutter-free society. So I'm excited to see where this really goes because my whole vision has shifted.
Yeah, it has. Because I remember years ago with I think it was a 21-day clutter-free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21-day challenge. Thousands of women have taken that
yes.
21-day challenge. Yeah, I need to redo it.
Because I took the 21-day challenge myself. Yeah. So I know you have, I think, is it once a year in Miami that you have the clutter-free weekend? Yeah, tell us about that.
So that's the annual event. This November 8th through the 10th will We'll do our 3rd annual, and it's not Miami. I just love Miami. It's what I'm creating is Florida's #1 women empowerment weekend. So next year I won't announce where we're going to be, but I love it. I'm excited about the venue. But every year in Florida, women come from all over, and it's interesting because I'm here, born and raised Tampa, and like last year there might have been maybe 10 women out of 80 that were actually from Florida. These women are coming from everywhere else to come and experience Clutter Free Weekend. So of course I want more women that are in this community to come and join us, but just getting together once a year to do the work in person.
Right. Wow. That is interesting. Only 10 people from the local, and that's one thing I definitely want, especially our listeners that are from the local Tampa Bay area to know about things that we have going on just like this, because it's one thing that, we're able to reach so many people, but right here in our own community is really important that, women know that we have that type of support from each other.
Exactly. A lot of times people say, oh, Tampa don't have anything going on, or they don't think anyone successful lives in Tampa, or anyone in Tampa is, here for empowerment. There's so many powerhouse people right here.
Right.
Not just Tampa, but Florida, period.
Exactly. So I want to talk a little bit about, because I know there's a lot of women that listen to the show that are struggling with unhealthy relationships, or they're not happy in their careers and things like that. And so, Angel, I know you have a background, and so I want people to understand it doesn't matter where you come from. Right. You can have the worst background ever, and we always say, well, there's somebody else out there worse off than I am, right? So I want you to talk a little bit about your background so people can understand that it's not that she came from a place of she was already doing something, or came from a household that already had different advantages. So tell us a little bit about your background, and that way people can really understand like why you actually created this.
Right. It's interesting because I always say, like, I would never have saw myself doing this. I didn't even like women.
Right.
If we just
I remember you saying that. Right. Yeah.
I was that woman that was like, I had all the guy friends. I had a few little friends, but I was like, I don't trust them. They're backstabbing. They're fake. And
right. And a lot of women think that. Right. Yeah.
10 years later, here I am empowering women. So this is nothing but purpose and calling, because what happened was, growing up, I went through a lot,
right.
And a lot of people who know my story know that, I was molested. I was raped. I was in a teenage abusive relationship. I was a 2-time teen parent. I had my first kid at 15, second kid at 19. And so my life early on was just extremely dysfunctional. And I had a dad, because a lot of people say, well, where was her father? I had a dad and a stepdad. I had 2 dads. So that isn't always the reason why we wild out.
Right.
I really had bottled in all the experiences and the trauma that I had, and there was no one around me that was willing to be honest about their trauma to help me deal with mine. It was kind of like, well, I was raped too, you'll be fine.
Right.
I went through that, you'll be okay. And so even dealing with abandonment, when my mom and my dad separated, my mom kind of had to just leave abruptly, and I was home, and my dad was like, trying to find her. It was this whole thing where I felt rejection. I didn't feel like my mom wanted me, my dad, and we have great relationships now, and we have for a long time, but that's my truth. And I know sometimes people are like, oh, don't share that. But I think it's important that my mom is amazing, my dad's amazing, but when they were back in the day, they had their issues, and their issues became my issues. And so going through all of that, I ended up, just repeated cycles of toxic relationships and, just doing things where I was self-sabotaging and self-destructive. And I feel like, one day I had my whole moment. I was suicidal. I had, within this abusive relationship, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I was contemplating, like, how am I going to get out of this? Because clearly it's not going to stop. This is my life. It is what it is. And it's just going to continue. And I don't want no parts.
Right.
And God told me in that moment, it's not over. Now, I'll say this. I didn't grow up in church. My mom is of a whole nother religion, Santeria. I didn't grow up knowing anything about God. So this was like, no, it's over. Like, that was me. Like, my response was like, I don't know what is. I'm done.
Right.
But long story short, obviously I'm still here, which is great. And I've overcome a lot, but that's what started this clutter-free journey. I, in that moment, had to start decluttering my life mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, my relationships, and everything started changing. I went through a transformation for like a 2-year period. I wasn't dating nobody. I wasn't trying to, hang out. I really was just trying to get myself together because I had lost my footing.
Right.
And I knew that there was more. I was that person that, how people say you're not dumb, but you make dumb decisions. That was me. I was that
Yeah.
person that knew better and knew there was more and saw other people. That's why I like what he was talking about earlier. You know, I saw other people doing great things and I wanted that, but I didn't know how to do that. And
Right.
again, the people I was connected to and my family and stuff, they weren't exposed to that, so they didn't know.
Right.
You know, and so that's how Clutter Free was born after I went through my own transformation. And be clear, I was nowhere near really clutter free when I started my business, but I just hopped
Right,
on
yeah.
YouTube, Ignorance on Fire, and I just started
I
doing
love it.
videos and, you know, putting it out there
Yeah.
and helping a lot of people. I got a lot of backlash from people as well. You know, because some people feel like until you got it all together, you should just stay quiet. But all our voices matter at every stage.
Yes, it does. Hey, we're
all right.
looking to go to break, but
Yeah,
we will
'cause
definitely be coming back with
I
more.
got some questions.
Oh, we know you
I
have
wanna
some
know
questions.
the principles. And we're going to find out, you know, what the basic principles, and we're going to talk about also the videos too. We're going to talk about the Wednesday night meetings and the videos that I'm going to recommend to people. But I want to know, you know, how are we going to get our sisters back online? So
That's what we're talking about.
We'll be right back on the break.
My name is Gil Sampson. I didn't come from a very rich family, and so paying for college would have been very tough. I don't know if I would have been able to go to the college that I went to, and then I don't know if I would have gotten into the career that I am in. So I think Bright Futures has done a lot to shape my life. I got a job as a structural engineer, and I design residential buildings, commercial buildings all over the United States. Because of Bright Futures, I was able to go to college. You know, so many kids just don't even ever get that opportunity, and to be able to do it and not have any debt when I graduated is amazing, and it was all thanks to Bright Futures.
Florida has created more than 1 million jobs in only 5 years, and a great education connects our students to these exciting opportunities. That's why the Florida Lottery has funded Bright Futures scholarships to help over 725,000 students attend college. Because every play is for education. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
Hi, this is Dale Day. Join me every Monday at 7 p.m. for Jazz at Miss Connie's house, bringing you the smoothest jazz and the coolest guests right here on In Touch Radio.
Hi, I'm Donald L. Dowers Jr., your motivational guru. This is the DLD Motivational Moment. One darn second. America, since 2017, is suffering from a serious hiccup. 9/11 is seriously overused in a distasteful manner. Every day the cops are calling on an innocent person of color. It amazes me that America has come down to this. A person of color becomes a person of interest. Waffle House, the dorm, Starbucks is a few. This is not the lunch counters, sit-ins of the 1960s. 2019, harassed simply for being black and proud. Hold on one darn second. This has been the DLD Motivational Moment. Pre-order my new book, Motivational Moments, at DLD282002 at yahoo.com or 813-394-5875.
Back in your day. All right. Welcome back. I believe Andre has some questions for Angel.
Well, you know, like I said, we have listeners from all over the world
Right.
tuning in, and they can't get to Florida. So what are the basic principles of clutter free?
Right. So the three things, 3 C's that I teach from, like as far as just the foundation, is clarity, confidence, and courage. Because those are 3 things that I didn't have in that season of my life. I didn't have clarity around who I was, you know, where I came from, you know, what possibilities existed for me. I didn't even have clarity on the power that I possessed to change my own life. And so, you know, that's why I tell women all the time, you are the solution. Sometimes we're looking on the outside for the solution. And so then confidence, you know, I had no confidence. I had low self-esteem and did not have any self-love. And the people that I was around, it almost feels like it was their mission to make me feel smaller. And so even in the times when I felt a little glimpse of confidence, it was snatched up real quick because I was reminded of what I did or what I've experienced. And then courage. A lot of people confuse confidence and courage. A lot of women are not where they want to be, not because they don't have confidence, because a lot of times we have confidence, but we are afraid to step up and really show up. So clarity, confidence, and courage as a foundation, really started to transform my life, and it's helped so many others as well.
Okay, so I'm going to throw in another a monkey wrench in this situation.
Well, I am from the what you say to right.
No pun intended. All right, but we all life coaches, and one of the things that I'm focusing on with getting the brothers together is finding a common agenda. And then I think we can coordinate with our women to be a part of that agenda. And that would help eliminate a lot of the chaos and confusion. When people are working in different directions, it has a tendency to take away from the relationship.
Absolutely.
So common agenda, we have to go into the astrological aspect of that, because, the way we write our book, there are certain personalities that are equally yoked, and there are certain personalities that aren't. And if they aren't and there are personalities that conflict with each other, and they've been married 30 and 40 years. Right. But what we found out is that they're doing it because they're living in an artificial system, and it's all about just going to work and getting a paycheck, and you tolerate it, but you're not really feeling your spiritual purpose. So how do you deal with that component?
I think that's very true what you're saying, because like the separation, how we're going different ways. A lot of times when women do finally, have their breakthrough and they become confident and they have the courage to step out, a lot of them do in their relationships. Not all, but a lot of them do, because they start to see clearly this isn't, good for me. Maybe good dude, not good for me, right? And so then that's where the separation comes, because the men have to do their work, so we can all work together. You have women that are so empowered, sometimes they feel like they can't connect and relate to anybody. So I love that you're working with the men as well. And I think that it's just important for us to understand that, we have to be on that same agenda. I feel like, again, the clutter-free society, period, all of us should be working on that, and not being afraid to do what we have to do, not being afraid and because I know a lot of my followers are watching right now because I did a watch party, but like what you just said, we have to dig deep, do some research, astrology, looking at, what's compatible for me. You don't have to just accept who wants you just because he likes you, and, just because he wants to be with you doesn't mean that's what you have to accept. But sometimes when you're lonely, you're bored, you're tired of waiting, you just jump into something without really knowing yourself. What you're saying is we need to know ourselves, and then we'll better know what we're connected to. And so that's important.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But a lot of times we're afraid of stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you start saying spirituality, people who are, so hung up on religion, they're like, oh, that's,
yeah.
Or they're extreme, and we miss out on opportunities just to learn more by being afraid.
Yeah. So the thing that I do, what I'm doing with the guys is basically, focusing on, we all have different skills and attributes to offer to the community, and we're basically attempting to synchronize that where each guy and girl will fit into that common cause of maintaining balance. So everybody can't be a brain surgeon, everybody we need a garbage man, and it's not meaning that the garbage man is less valuable. If he stops picking up the garbage,
that's right,
we're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you're a brain surgeon or not. There are going to be some other issues. So, the balance of understanding all men and women are created equal is the thing that we're focusing on.
We're bigger than our titles and our jobs and things like that.
Yeah. The Parasite did a good job on getting us all confused and say, well, you are worth more than this guy over here, and that's how we end up compromising our souls. So. Yeah. So give us some information on how people can find you in your video. And
so on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, it's at Hot Coaching. Hot stands for Helping Others Transform. So at Hot Coaching on social media, and then just helpingothers transform.com.
Okay. And you've been doing that in Tampa for?
Yeah, so I primarily just run my business online because, like I said, when I first started, I wanted to help everybody here. But sometimes, what they say, a prophet isn't respected in his own home. So, I learned that quick. I learned that quick and said, okay, well, I'm going to go where the people are that want this. And so that's what I did. But, so I do a lot of virtual teachings, but I started right here. Just, I'm born and raised in Tampa. I would love to connect more with women here, but, I'm not dragging nobody and begging nobody. It's a lot of women all over the world that, want to live a clutter-free life. And so I'll just show up and serve who's ready.
Well, I'm hopeful that, and I'm also an advocate of the natural order in terms of the elders in the community. And I am an elder at this point. And I can see where, if the people that you're attracting, that you're vibing with, will need some additional advice. Mm-hmm. I can help your people with, learning how to compromise for those that are in a marriage. And okay, so now I'm stuck in this marriage. I love this man, but he's not filling my agenda. So how to counsel that man and say, listen, you guys you're in love, you love each other, but you're not equally yoked in terms of your spiritual purpose. So allow her to go out and interact with people that are part of her same agenda without you putting restrictions on her and being jealous. Just understand that she needs to do what she needs to do, because ultimately the prime objective for our existence on the physical plane is to evolve spiritually. It's not to acquire a PhD or get the biggest house or have the fanciest clothes or send your children to the best schools. No, it's to evolve, to return to the Most High. So that's just my take. Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like we were talking about, as far as, us women, when we get to that place and we realize our power, we realize our purpose, we do get to that place where it's like, oh, I don't need this. But a lot of us, we go through that unhealthy pattern of whether it's the same man that we keep repeating, because I went through it too, repeating the same thing, allowing that person to keep coming back, and we say, oh, I'm done, but you're not done, because you need to do the inner work. And that's what women don't realize. We put the blame outside of us, that external blame of, oh, it's their fault and they need to change and they need to go to counseling and they need to do this and they need to do that, until we get to a place where it's like, I need to do some inner work, because there's a reason within myself why I'm allowing this to happen. And when we get to that and we get past that and have our breakthrough, like you said, we do kind of wake up and say, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. And then we start to see the world a little bit different, that we're no longer a victim of our circumstances, and we see opportunities, and then we're at that place where it's like, okay, well, that's no longer an issue for me. I'm not even bothered by that issue anymore, So we get to a place when we can say, okay, I'm okay by myself. Then we have opportunities that come to us, and we have a choice, like you said. We have a choice. Do I want to go into that relationship? Because I'm not going into any relationship because I need to be. It's going to be something that I want to be in that's going to enhance my life. Versus, when we're in a place of not understanding ourselves and we feel like I need a man, or I need this, or I need that. Once you have that breakthrough and you do that healing, you're no longer in that place.
Right. And it's important to when you do that work, I think, a lot of people say, well, I don't need no man, I don't want no man and stuff like that. And I think a lot of that's just coming from bitterness and brokenness. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's coming just from, just passed down, and we use that as a way to feel independent. But I think that when you are able to connect with somebody that can elevate you, I posted the other day that, the love you deserve will make you love yourself more, right? So when you get with the right person, you become unstoppable. And so my hope is that as women are decluttering, that they do have that clarity to see that partner that, not the people that are already in it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't in it, but they get in it. And, then you got to figure things out. If you can go in, a little bit more clear and see what's his purpose, what are we going to do together? And not for the status of power couple, but, what can we create and do, and what difference can we make? That's what I would love to see.
I got another question. I got a question for you now. Now, I remember, and I always do, and I put the same question to Latasha. She handled it very well. But
I try to handle everything you throw at me, so.
I I have extensive business knowledge, you know, and it doesn't matter how much knowledge, you know, it's whether you're willing to compromise your soul. So one of the tests of getting to where I am now as a man, I had to go through the test of humility. I had to be stripped down from $400,000 a year income to zero. And when I came back home, I was broke as hell, you know. and so I was talking, you know, trying to line myself. I love women. I ain't going no other kind of way. So I'm trying to line myself up with
Clarity.
with this with this sister, right? And she was making, I think she said she was making $65,000 a year, and any man coming in her life got to be making just as much money or more if he wants to get with her. I said, what? So how do you counsel your women in that's jacked up in the head like that?
You know, my whole thing is if he got 40, now y'all making 6 figures together. You know?
There you go.
So, but I think that because everything isn't about finances, what is he bringing to the table? You know, because he may be bringing, like you say, background, you know, knowledge, support, you know, pushing you. He can push you. Some men aren't going to be intimidated by that. They're like, okay, you making 65. Let's see how we can get you at 85. You know, and he may not have that, but if you're only looking at somebody's value according to their income, you miss out. There's some really, really great guys out here who are still on their journey too. That's the thing too. A lot of times as women, we feel like we on our journey. Well, they on their journey too. You know, they're trying to get it together. We haven't always made 6 figures or whatever.
Yep.
You know?
Well, good answer.
Good answer. Oh my goodness.
Well, we're glad to have you on the show. We have one other guest that's running for office. We want to have you back on the show.
Yes,
I'd love to come back.
We're all life coaches, and we need to synchronize, coordinate.
Yeah,
our knowledge.
exactly. Yeah.
And you know, we got to bring our people back because, like I said earlier, black people are the only ones that can resurrect this planet from the brink of where it's headed right now. So, Angel, it's been a pleasure, my dear.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Angel.
Dr. V, the head of school at the Walters Academy for Entrepreneurship, a place that we like to call The Way, where we're educating today's youthpreneurs to be tomorrow's billionaires through social entrepreneurship. Do you have a student who's bored, frustrated, gifted, inquisitive, creative, business-minded? Then maybe you need to check The Way out. Listen, we have an educational platform that allows for individualized instruction. It's strength-based, project-based, and designed to help your student become the absolute best they can while starting their own business and being an entrepreneur. If you're looking for something different and you need to find a more excellent way, then you need to visit us at The Way. That's The Way, www.thewaetampa.org. Or you can call us at 813-603-7923. We look forward to showing your student a more excellent way at The Way.
Hi, this is Trina Johnson with Caldwell Banker Real Estate, the real estate agent you've been looking for. If you want top dollar for your home or you're looking to make a purchase, call me at 813-244-6953. Again, 813-244-6953, and let me list your home.
In Touch Radio, where you can listen to a cruising flow of smooth soul and jazz, today's R&B, a fun touch of hip-hop and gospel.
All my music on one station.
Giving you a buffet of music, news, and entertainment. We're In Touch Radio.
All right. So we're back, and we had Angel on, and Angel is an inspiration, and our primary focus, man, is our Nubians queens. We got to get y'all back on point. So we have one other guest in the studio, and this guest, she and I was raised up in the same church a long time ago. We've known each other since we were little toddlers. So her name is Gwen Myers, and she's running for District 3 as the county commissioner. And we need to get her in that spot because I know her foundation, I know her pedigree, and she's gonna get in there and do what's right because she knows that our ancestors will whoop our ass if we get in there and don't do what we're supposed to do. So Gwen, say hello.
Good morning.
So, Gwen, tell us about, a little bit about yourself more than, our background and, what do you intend to do different than what the predecessor.
Hey, good morning again. I'm Gwen Myers, a candidate for County Commission District 3. I'm running for County Commission District 3 because I have a passion of helping people address county issues. One of the things about running for this seat is there's so many issues in the county that needs to be addressed that have gone unaddressed for a while. The difference that I see with me is that I worked for county government for 25 years, addressing issues of affordable housing, revitalizing communities, building neighborhood centers, and helping people become first-time home buyers, as well as making sure citizens receive health care insurance in Hillsborough County government.
That's a mouthful. So now there are a lot of issues going on, and I'm dealing with some issues and concerns. I'm an old yellow jacket from Blake High School in West Tampa, and West Tampa is under attack of gentrification. We have developers coming in offering crazy money all the time to black folks, and as far as I'm concerned, that money is worthless because when they get ready to move out and go find somewhere else to live, they won't have anywhere else to live. So I understand that the county has dealt with affordable housing or workforce housing. How do you see what's happening to black folks being pushed out of Tampa? What's your perception on that?
Stay there. Don't let anyone push you out. I'm experiencing that right now with some citizens that lives in West Tampa. They are not offered enough money to move to go be able to afford a new house. Okay, it sounds good. And when you don't have that funding right away, you're so excited and happy because someone has come to you and say, oh, here's $75,000. Well, today you cannot buy a house for $75,000.
Right.
Let's just be realistic. So if you really want to move, hey, I say to someone, you need at least $150,000 because you need to be able to buy your house, okay, to stay in the house, and not just look at the first dollars that are offered. I know someone right now, they're building all around this individual. They have not offered them enough money to move because they cannot find another home. So the developer is very angry because they want the property, and I'm saying stay there. Stay there, hold out. They're going to give you enough because they need your piece of property. So don't take the first offer.
Okay. All right. So the implementation based on HOPE, and our MIAT group is affiliated with HOPE now, and the request for it's up to $10 million now.
$10 million from Hillsborough County government, that I know, that the board has already approved.
So how is that going to work? Are the developers going to come in and manipulate and pay people under the table and get all that money and not do what they're supposed to do? Or how you guys are going to handle that?
Well, if I was elected, you hold staff accountable to making sure that you have some of the subsidy, which is when they're applying to become a first-time homeowner, that they're going to use some of the money for down payment assistance, okay? Some of the money would be used to build affordable housing, and that's when you're working with that nonprofit to making sure that those dollars are going specifically to the areas that the board has approved.
Okay. And all right, so now one of the other issues you have is transportation. Now they approved the 1 cent tax. So that money, is it being funneled directly? Has it been? Are they down receiving it now, or is it going to go to all the big developers downtown who wants to rebuild and get all the money for infrastructure for their multi-billion-dollar development?
No, it's not going to go that way at all. First, we have to have the Florida Supreme Court to determine the ruling on the funding, because that's where it is right now. The county has not received any money. It's still just tied up in legal. The citizens have said how they wanted that money split. And so the county has honored those wishes of the citizens when we brought it back on November 4th, and which is good. When we talk about transportation, we know that we do not have adequate transportation, mass transit here in Hillsborough County to get around. One of the things, just yesterday, I was driving 301. It took me 1 hour to get to Riverview from Highway 60, or I'd say Adamo Drive. If we had mass transit where you can park at a depot, and think about our rails. You have the CSS rails that only the trains come every now and then. Why not partner with them to make sure that we can use their tracks when a train is not running, okay, that you're building something that can run on the tracks right now. And so the county is looking into that avenue as well. Then you have HART. We need more buses. We need to purchase more buses, fleets of buses, because routes have been cut because of the funding that HART has received. So with the sales tax, that would help two key organizations, HART being one, then the transit, to making sure working people can get on the bus much earlier and get home to be with their family. Another way to take some of their cars off the road if we can get mass transit. So I'm all for, I work with all transportation when we were trying to get this on the ballot to make sure it passed. Because if you lived here in Hillsborough County as long as Andre and I have lived, we know we didn't even talk about transportation when we were younger. But that's a key word today. Everywhere you go, it's transportation.
Right. Yeah. You know, I lived in D.C. for 10 years, and that mass transit system, you know, was very efficient. Something has to be done. I think we might need monorails, you know, like in the Jetson days, cartoons, because we can't go into subways. Has that been considered, or just accessing the existing rail system?
No, I don't know what all has been talked about. I know Mayor Jane Castor's talking about transportation, and so is the county. The city would be getting some of these dollars once they're free up, and we just need to sit down and come up with a very workable plan that if we can get a monorail, we can use the train tracks to improve our transportation.
Okay, so here's the final one, environment and infrastructure. So the same pipes and sewage pipes that have been here since I was a child are still in the ground, and all they're doing is patchwork. And also, what's going on with all of this? What is this disease in the water? The bacteria,
allergy, bacteria.
So how will the county participate in that in conjunction with the state of Florida?
What was your environmental issues is making sure that the issues that are environmental related is sending out a staff to test whatever the bacteria is coming from, because they have not been determined, particularly this flesh bacteria of going into the water, and the disease is just affecting people right now. They don't know how does that even happen? Where did it come from? Okay. So then you have the infrastructure. Well, I agree there are pipes, there are posts, lighting posts and all, and sidewalks. We need to, again, with the transportation dollars that being approved, that's going to help the infrastructure. Okay. That you will get new lighting, new street lighting, better pavement of roads, sidewalks that are so uneven, and even in our drainage. And so when you talk about infrastructure, you have to include all those components in there to make sure that you have a better sound community. And one of the things that I stress to people, we have to be the voice. We have the opportunity on the first and third Wednesday of every month to go down to Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners, 601 East Kennedy Boulevard, and let your voice be known.
Okay. Well, Gwen, we're going to have you back on. We know we had short notice, and also, you know, when we get closer to the race, you need to come on and let us know how things are heating up. And also want to remind people once again, be sure to call Best Deal Pharmacy. They're located at 5352 North Habana. This alchemist is a genius, and he's going to restructure your medicine so you won't have those reactions. Call Michael at 813-644-6845. Also, Al Soul Food. Go check them out, 2302 East 7th Avenue. I also promised in my post there are two documentaries and movies you need to see. That's Cosmic Disclosure. That's the one you might need some therapy. So if you watch that and it messes you up, you can come to our Wednesday night meetings at Ray Charles Boulevard. That's 1240 Ray Charles Boulevard. Every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. we have some masters of the universe there, and we can give you some insight on what these things about, because they are a little exotic. Unacknowledged, I've mentioned this one before, but a lot of us, we got, a lot of you metaphysical people, a lot of you conscious people that know that are starting to receive those messages that the change, the paradigm shift is on the horizon. You need to study these things and then come hang out with us. Let's talk about them. Let's put together an agenda to deal with these issues. So, Black Aboriginals, get your act together. That's your new name. And until some scholars call in and say, no, we need to tweak that one more time, because we done been called everything under the sun. I'm not going to mention some of them bad words they done called us, but Black Aboriginals, that is a powerful movement. You are the first, you are the beginning, and we got to get our black women, our beautiful Nubian women. They are the mothers of all human beings on this planet, so we got to get in with them. This has been Straight Talk. Latasha.
All right, make sure you get your tickets for next weekend's event at Live Your Best Life, visionboard.eventbrite.com.
Hey, thanks for listening. Tune in next week at 9 a.m. and we're going to continue to expand on The Parasite. And if you see those movies and you want to ask some questions online, call in and we will answer those questions next week. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you.